cronies, welcome to another episode of Crohn's Chronicles. Today I'm going to take a break from shit series. Today I shall talk about certain things that I did, mistakes you can call them, which I should have avoided. I could have avoided them, and I should have been little more cautious. Well, that didn't lead to complications kind of things, but maybe I wouldn't have gone through the kind of trauma I had if I was good enough in following certain things. But human error, I didn't do that, and maybe because having a chronic disease and you're so tired, and at one point of time you just give up, and you don't want to do anything, you don't want to take the treatment, you don't want to follow anything at all, and you do such kind of things. But chronic disease, you need patience. It's an autoimmune disease, you need lots of patience because there's no cure, and it's only treatable, it. So you just have to be a little patient, and let things go in their own way. But I didn't do it few years back, so I thought all those who are diagnosed very recently with IBD, with Crohn's disease, or those who are suffering it from a long time, if you're doing the following things, then please stop them immediately and do the right things. So try to recall what I did, and I started writing down. So I got around 10 points regarding my mistakes. Let's start the counting. I didn't eat right. Neither a Crohn specific diet exists, nor is it proved that the kind of food you eat causes IBD or Crohn's disease. But still, there are certain foods which might trigger flare-ups, or which would worsen your flare-ups. So in order to know what kind of food suits you and to design your diet, you need to keep a food journal. And I was every time advised by my brother to have a food journal, to keep a food journal and keep writing whatever I'm eating, whatever goes into my stomach, my breakfast, my lunch and dinner, whatever I eat, and if my stool frequency is changing accordingly. He had told me this from from very beginning of the disease, but I never listened to him. It's only from the past 2 years that I'm maintaining a food journal. I finally listened to him, and I've understood that it's important, and so I've started maintaining a food journal now. But I should have done this before also. And he would also keep advising me not to eat spicy foods and not to have gluten diet. I think he himself had researched quite a lot about Crohn's disease and the kind of diet that should be avoided. So he used to advise me to not have those kind of triggering food items, but I never listened to him. Bad sister. So what you need to know is that though there's no specific cause as to what causes Crohn's, and if the kind of food that we eat, does it cause Crohn's or not, there's no proof of that. But I think during a flare-up, it's very necessary the kind of food you're eating, the kind of things that get into your intestines are very, very important. It's very important to have highly nutritious food. But my thing was, I used to always concentrate on more of delicious food than which would taste very good than nutritious foods. And I love spicy food. I just love spicy foods. I love biryani and chicken and everything. But I think when you have a flare up, you should definitely stop having such kind of uh, high spicy foods with all masalas and everything. And when I had a flare up, and when I was having loss of appetite, and when I was not in a position to even consume anything, then I was in a helpless situation at that time. But when I was in a remission period, I should have definitely taken care of what I was eating. Maybe I should have provided the necessary nutrients to my body, because we know in Crohn's disease that the nutrients, all the essential vitamins that are not absorbed from your food by your intestines because of inflammation. So whatever small amount of food that you eat, you should be mindful of it, that it's very nutritious, it has all the essential elements, all the essential nutrients in it, so that even if it's a little amount that's being absorbed, at least the best thing is going inside your body, and not the spicy and greasy fatty foods. So be cautious about what you eat. The second one, stopping medication. So it's not like I stopped medication for a long time or something. I stopped my medicines. That too, I stopped only mesalazine for a while, for about like 10 to 15 days. But those 10 to 15 days had really caused rise of symptoms. I had increased frequency of stools. So I think it's not advisable to stop your medication until your doctor advises you so. What you need to understand is that there's a long-term strategy to treat Crohn's. So you have to use lifelong medications. So stick to the treatment plan. Do not stop your medications. What happens is that once you start feeling better after taking your medicines, it's a human thing that you feel, okay, I'm feeling better, why do I have to still continue with the medicines, and you stop it. Don't do that with Crohn's. Never ever. Take your medications regularly. As I said, don't stop your medicines, because they might lead to flare-ups and more complications. See, when the outcome is perfect, then why do you want to mess up with the success by stopping the medication? So don't stop your medicines. At least you know that all your symptoms belong to your digestive system. So a doctor who is expert in dealing with diseases related to digestive system, that's where you need to go, a gastroenterologist. But what I did was, I went to 2 physicians for about 6 months, and only after 6 months, that's when I went to a gastroenterologist. It's not a very grave mistake I did, but I didn't know, I didn't expect it to be something like this. So whoever is watching this video, just remember that you need to see a doctor depending upon the kind of symptoms that your body exhibits. I was having diarrhea, I was having abdominal pain, fever, and had loss of appetite. I should have had this common sense that it's related to my digestive system, and maybe I should see a gastroenterologist immediately. But I didn't do that. I waited for 6 months, and as it said, the sooner the better. So see a specialist. The other thing is that Crohn's is a very complicated disease, and it's an emerging disease. So the treatments always keep changing. There are new kinds of treatments that come up. So when you see a IBD specialist in specific, so that's when you can get the right amount of approach towards your disease. Sleeping habits. I still get scolded for this, because my sleeping habits are the worst. I again don't follow a time here. I don't have a specific time of sleeping and specific time of waking up. That's a very bad thing. You should never do that. Always follow a regular sleeping schedules. You should always wake up at the same time in the morning and sleep at the same time in the night. And try to sleep for about 7 to 9 hours, and that's enough, I think. But again, I would sleep for 10 hours or so. I don't think that's really bad, but the thing is that I would sleep very late at night, somewhere around after 1 o'clock in the night. So obviously I would be waking up late in the morning, so my day would start late, and there was no scope for me to include 5 meals a day, which was advised by my doctor, that I eat 5 meals a day. Like I have a breakfast, I have brunch, lunch, and evening snacks, and then I have my dinner. But because I used to wake up so late in the morning, I had to skip few things in between, and obviously I was not providing my body with the necessary things it needed. And all have learned one thing as kids, that early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy and wise. So I didn't follow that. I think I'm wise enough, but not healthy. If you want to have a good sleep at night, limit your nighttime light exposure, which I never did, and I don't do it even now. Sometimes I do. I'm trying to do it. Is that stop using your cell phone at night. So if you're watching my videos at night, stop doing that, and you can watch it in the morning. Don't stress. Stress is not the cause of Crohn's disease, but what I have experienced personally is that whenever I had stress, I definitely had a flare up. I just realized that the both were definitely interlinked. I anyways couldn't stop stressing, so I was always advised by my sister to meditate. I think that's the other mistake I did. I never meditated. I've never exercised. Sister used to always tell me, see, you have a chronic disease. Definitely it's going to stress you out a lot, and we know that we can't do anything about it, and it's only you who has to suffer. And we know that you're into depression because of this. So try to come out of it. Do some kind of meditation, yoga. Do meditation. That's what she used to always tell me. Even now, even in the morning today, she was telling me, why don't you meditate? Just sit there and meditate for a while. It definitely is going to keep you relaxed and calm, and it'll help you in healing your disease. But I never listened to her. But you don't do that mistake. Please meditate. My problem is that I really cannot sit there and close my eyes and concentrate. It's really difficult for me. But if you are a good girl or a good boy, then please meditate. I know it will definitely help, because even doctors have advised me to do that, and I've read a lot of articles. A lot of people tell me to do that, to do yoga and meditation. They're really good. I don't do it. Supplements. I never used to take my supplements. I'm very bad at that. Even if it was written in my prescription, I would not follow it. I would follow it for like 2 or 3 days and then stop. And I would never tell my doctor that I hadn't taken the supplements. That's a very bad thing to do. Never do that. Take all your supplements. They're very, 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 very necessary, because intestines are inflamed in your Crohn's disease and they cannot absorb the nutrients from your body. I used to think was that at this very young age, I'm taking lots of medicines, I'm going through a lot of things. So I was like something mad. And I also had this abscess thing, which would, restrict me to the bed itself. I could never sit for a longer time or stand for a long time. But I think at least if you can sit for 10 minutes in the sun, that's a very good thing to do, because that's how vitamin D gets into our body. So taking all these calcium, vitamin D, folic acid, iron, zinc tablets as prescribed by your doctor is very important. 7th one, hydration. Diarrhea, continuous persistent diarrhea, lots of fluids getting out of your body, you're just completely wiped out, and your body becomes dehydrated. I was in a very bad dehydrated condition for a very long time, and I never used to drink the right amount of water. Drinking at least 8 glasses of water is very, very important, but I never did that. Even now I drink very less water, and again I still get a lot of scoldings, and everyone in my family complains that I don't drink the right amount or the needed amount of water. So please don't do that. Because lots of water, that keep you hydrated. Water is very good for your body, for your skin. It'll make you look more beautiful also. So drink lots and lots of water. So the next thing I did was, I consider it as the grave mistake I did. I really should have not done this. That is listening to my body. and my symptoms. I was having this anal pain for a long time, I think about more than a month, but I was also losing weight. I was having fever. I should have listened to my symptoms and I should have seen my doctor immediately, but I didn't do that. I was keeping on postponing it, thinking it'll be fine one day. But then it led to an abscess, and that abscess has turned my life upside down, and a lot of things have changed after that. See, your body is very intelligent system, and it gives you certain signals what's happening within it, and what are its needs. So if your body tells you that you have an increased stool frequency, or you have an abdominal pain which you never had before, or you have blood in your stools which you never had before again, and if you're losing weight, all these are signals that you might go into a flare up. So don't wait until, okay, let's just wait and see what's going to happen. It's going to be more and more complicated. So don't wait until the complications arise. Just go to the doctor once you think that there are any changes in your body that are occurring all of a sudden, and get treated. These were 8 avoidable mistakes that I did, and the other 2 were, I didn't do this, but I think it's a common mistake that most of them do. In touch with your doctor. Okay, go to all your scheduled appointments, because your doctor should know what's happening with you, and if there's a necessity of changing the treatment, then they can do it. So you should see your doctor very regularly. They will advise you to go to certain blood tests to monitor how everything is going, and to also see if there are any side effects of the medications you're using. So if you see your doctor regularly along with your blood tests whenever they have advised you for, they can help you in a better way. And depending on the kind of lifestyle you lead, that is, if you are a person who travels a lot due to your work, then if you tell these kind of or any kind of limitations that you have in your life, if you tell all these to your doctor, then they can design your treatment according to your lifestyle. So it's very necessary to see your doctor regularly. One last thing, if you have the habit of smoking, please kick the habit. Don't smoke. Smoking is injurious to health. And in Crohn's disease, smoking increases the risk of flares, so quit smoking. You could have had the similar experiences like mine, so it would be nice to have a person who has gone through the same stuff like you, and you feel nice that okay, there's somebody else also, and you'll build up some courage and a positive attitude towards the disease. So if you're suffering with Crohn's disease, please share your experiences with me in the comment section box below, and